What's the kind of ship that can never sink? What's the kind of ship that can never sink? You were looking at me like I just told you something asked you something so crazy.
I've never, what's a ship? Is it a joke?
What's the kind of ship that can never sink?
A friendship ship.
A friendship.
Oh.
Are you dumb?
Maybe a little bit.
Are you dumb?
A friendship.
A friendship.
Did you look that up?
No. I think it's from
Did you look up dad puns?
SpongeBob or something.
I've never heard that.
Oh my God, hello. You've never heard that?
I can hear that in his voice.
A friendship. A friendship. Okay, hi everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Dig In.
Where we're digging into, obviously.
Friendship.
Oh, yeah. The friendship episode.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a friendship episode.
Friendship. There was a rainbow.
The big rainbow.
The big rainbow. It said friendship, right? There was F-I-R. No, that's Campfire song. Oh. CAMPFIRESONG song.
Enough. I take full responsibility for setting off this episode in a
SpongeBob manner.
SpongeBob manner.
You did this to yourself.
Okay.
We're going to talk about friends today. Friendship. Friendship girls.
We're your friendship girls.
We are. How we made friends. Who are our friends?
Who are our friends? Not who are our friends. Imagine. If you're our friend listening, turn away right now.
This isn't for you. This is for strangers.
About you. We're talking shit. So,
I mean, I might talk a little shit.
Fuck off. I think it's so important. So one of the things I wanted to really talk about, I think it's so important.
Like, friends are so important.
No, one of the things I want, when we were like setting up this podcast, we were like thinking of like topic ideas and just like what we'd want to talk about. One of the key themes or like messages in my life as of late has been building community, friendships. How do you make friends in a new city? And we move around a lot. We've moved around a lot. So how are we finding people that are like-minded? And how are we engaging in community building?
Because it's a lonely time in the world.
Oh my God.
The world is crazy.
As in the world is having a lonely time?
Well, the world is crazy. B, it's hard to make friends. C, everyone's on their fucking phones. No one's going outside anymore.
You sound like a boomer.
D, people aren't going out.
You sound like
T, like Gen Z isn't going out. They're staying inside. They're staying inside and cleaning. I saw a TikTok. A girl was like, "Why is no one going out anymore? Everyone's just like staying inside and cleaning their apartments on the weekends."
Honestly,
like, how do you meet people?
Kind of fun.
I know. I love that because I'm 30. But like I'm talking about like 23-year-olds.
No, I was out.
I know you were out.
Friendship.
Who is your first friend? Who is your
the
first friend?
I can remember in my life is someone from my, I'm gonna say nursery, like preschool.
Oh, that's nice. You remember that far?
I remember only because of photos I've seen, so it jogs in memory.
Yes.
When I was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 or 5.
Wow.
I don't know how old you are then. But he used to wear a Casper t-shirt. There's 5 photos of him in my like
the
childhood
ghost
album. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Yeah, I just call him Casper.
Oh, that's nice.
Maybe he was a dead child. Maybe he was just the ghost of a dead child.
That would make sense for you in your journey.
That really
right now.
would make sense for me.
Yeah, for you to be
my,
friends with a ghost in the beginning.
And my life trajectory. Yes, my first friend was a ghost.
Yeah, this would make sense.
And now here I am.
Okay. Anything else about Casper that you remember?
Are you real?
Probably not, honestly. At this
I
point.
don't know. I think he was just my first little white friend, and then.
Of course he was white. Casper the ghost.
Yeah, and I don't know if I had many other friends that were little white boys growing up.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to think. No, because all my friends were girls then.
Oh, yeah.
All of my friends were girls in school.
See, I didn't really have that many girl friends.
Because you had girlfriends, because you were too busy getting girlfriends.
I had girlfriends, but I didn't have girlfriends. I did have girlfriends starting in like middle school, I think. I think in the elementary school.
Did you say I fear?
I fear. I think in the elementary school times, I had boys as friends.
Boys were never friends. Boys were never friends.
No, they were.
Boys were never my
friends. They were
friends.
kind of friends.
No. Even like my cousins, like I feel like I'd say that my cousins were my first like friends growing up. If I'd had to pinpoint a time where I was friends with peers, my cousins, but they were girlfriends. They were my girl cousins.
I wish I had cousin friends. I didn't have cousin friends.
Which is crazy because you live in a family with...
I have 1 billion people in my family.
Yeah, exactly. So
but like none of them, like a couple of them were in my age.
Are any of them gay? Do you know if any of your cousins are gay? Is there anyone else in your family that's gay?
I don't know recently. Probably there have been some that came out. But the ones that the only time I saw my cousins was during Thanksgiving when like 70 of my family came together during Thanksgiving. And there would be like 2 girls that I would hang out with. We weren't like friends. Like we never hung out outside of Thanksgiving. It was like a once a year thing where I saw them and they were cool.
Okay.
We sat down, had Thanksgiving dinner. I would sit down with them. We would play like pool. We would go out to the bar.
No, this tells me a lot about you. No, this tells me a lot about you. Because I feel like when I think about like friendship and
Yeah.
like the meaningful ones in my life, they started in like high school. I had like meaningful friendships in high school that got me through high school, got me through coming out, got me through everything you've heard about in the last like few episodes.
Yeah.
Got me through everything. And I'm like, I boil my success in adolescence to the girlfriends around me. Friendship, community building.
So I had girlfriends in high school. They were all in chorus. Like it was all my choir and theater friends. The eye roll that you can't hear through the podcast just occurred on Omar's face. They got me through all of the traumas of high school.
All the singing.
Oh no,
all
that
the-
wasn't the traumatic
All the
part.
Glee Club drama.
No, the gay shit. The gay shit.
Yeah.
They helped me
Traumatizing.
out. Yeah, it was good. High school is hard enough as it is, so you have to have a close group of girls, and there's like, you know, you have to choose. Did you have like, they're like jocks and like music nerds and
Not
like,
really. Not really. Some of the most popular people in my school were like clowns, like the class clowns.
class
They're
clowns
like-
are different though. They can be popular,
Yeah, I know.
but they're like on
No,
the
there
edge.
wasn't really. They weren't like jocks, or that just doesn't really exist in like British high school culture,
don't know which
especially
I would
like
prefer.
especially like British like public school culture. It's
Yeah.
just who is like the chaviest, who is the one that's gonna be like the worst. You've seen Skins. You've never seen Skins.
I've never seen Skins.
So who's gonna be like the most like belligerent? Who's having the most parties? But like anyone can come.
Oh, that's nice. Where were you? You were popular, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you bully anyone?
No, I wouldn't bully anyone unless they tried to bully me.
Ah.
And then it would be like that one scene in Pose.
Were you like the what TV series? Sex Education? Where there's the one gay guy who's friends with the two popular girls? Was that you?
Yes. No, not really.
Okay.
No, because I feel like
That's what I
was gonna
imagine
say
you as.
No, because like I wasn't friends with. There was like if you were to say like the popular like girls, there wasn't really like one group of them because they were a little bit lame as well. Like thinking back on it.
Well, back then, yeah.
Yeah, like
100%.
like,
No one could dress
yeah.
and everyone was ugly.
But then it would be the girls that would come to school with like their like hair back knotted and like full face of makeup.
Back knotted?
They'd like back comb their hair.
Oh, ew.
That
Oh,
was, like, a
whoa.
full trend.
I remember that.
The back
yeah.
combed hair
Ooh.
and then so much makeup.
Oh.
But like they weren't really like cool. They were chavvy. They were just chavvy.
Okay.
This is the thing. The popularity was like who could win in a fight.
Oh, that's fun.
And maybe that was my school.
Feral.
Actually, that was my school. Who could win in a fight? And if you could win in a fight, you're probably the most popular.
Is that just
person.
your school or is that a UK thing?
Probably public school.
Oh,
I'm going to
rough.
say it was the public school system. There'd be like a text blast or like there'd be a rumor be like, oh, there was a girl called Carly and she would get in so many fights. She was pretty popular.
Oh my
Because
God.
no one would want to say anything to her because
Yeah.
she'd beat you up.
Ooh.
And I wouldn't want to get
Feels
on a
very
bad-
primal.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get on a bad side. So I'm like, me and Carly were tight.
What was a text blast?
If there was going to be a fight, she'd beat the shit out of people after school.
You sent their text blast about fights?
Yes, get with the program.
We didn't have that.
Yeah, well, you're a loser.
I probably didn't get the text blast. I was probably left out of those.
No, people used to get into fights all the time.
And
And,
it would be
that
like
would determine popularity. And you would just stay on the side of the people who would win the fights. Friendship.
Did you grow up in ancient Rome?
Yes, Sparta.
I only got the chain messages. If you don't send this to 10 people,
Oh,
your
yeah.
ants will die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get them on MySpace. Oh,
Those
MySpace.
killed me. Love.
MySpace is friendship. We could
Mister.
talk about friendship.
Yeah.
We could talk about MySpace. And you like could prioritize your friend list on MySpace. And then you'd be like, actually, no, this person's my new best friend. So I'm going to put them on number one. Because you could
Yeah.
like prioritize your friends on MySpace. How bitchy was
That's
that?
crazy work.
How fucking cunty was that feature on MySpace where you could be like, this person's my best friend, but then this person's my second and third,
And everyone could
fourth
see it.
and fifth and sixth best friend. And if you decided one week you're like, actually, I'm really vibing with this person more, and you would move them around,
Move
your
number
grid,
6 out.
You'd cause so many fights. You'd have so many fights. You go to school on Monday morning. You're like, why'd you move me on MySpace? I see that I'm number 2 now on your friends list.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think I did that. I don't think I had enough friends to like fill those six boxes.
sad.
I can't remember
Oh.
MySpace. Like I know I had MySpace,
Sometimes
but
we
I
have
can't remember.
conversations like this, and I'm like, oh, I just want to give you a hug. But I know me in high school would not be friends with you in high school.
Oh no, you wouldn't be at all.
Fuck no.
I remember MySpace, but I don't remember putting like friendship. I remember AIM more so. Like I would AIM.
Huh?
AIM. AIM Messenger?
What?
AIM? AOL? AOL?
AOL.
AOL Messenger?
Okay.
Did you not have that?
It was MSN.
Oh, you had MSN. No,
were
we had
MSN.
AOL.
We're cool, okay?
You were the UK. It was different. I
Yeah.
don't know if you had AOL.
We had AOL. I had like AOL as my internet.
But you have AOL Messenger.
Network. No, I used MSN.
Oh, I use AOL Messenger. I don't know what AIM
It
is.
was MSN when we were in high school, and then all of a sudden I was in college. It was BBM.
Oh, you had a BBM. I didn't have a
BBM in
BBM.
the shit out of people.
BBM. That's shit.
BBM in the shit out of people.
I wish I had a BBM. I was so like cunty at the time.
It was so good. Me and my BlackBerry Bold. I'm like, okay, listen.
So
when you're
cool.
about to have an argument with someone, I broke up with a boyfriend once at uni over BBM Messenger. And I was visiting my friend in Sheffield, and he was just being annoying as fuck. He told me he dropped out of uni, and I was like, you're a loser. You're a loser, and I'm going to dump you. And I was like, hold my drink. And I'm like, click, click, clacking away on my BBM, on my BlackBerry Bold.
They were like raised. They were like raised
Kind
things,
of.
weren't they?
Yeah.
Raised letters.
Friendship.
Feels very like nice. Breaking up with someone over BBM. I had a razor.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, that's a lie. I wish I had a razor.
Are you okay?
No, because I only got the ones
You
that
had such a sheltered upbringing.
I did.
I know that you have had a very sheltered upbringing. And whenever I talk about stories, like you've seen Sex Education on Netflix, you've seen Skins. My high school experience, like my college experience was very similar to like this. We would go to parties, we would get wasted really young. Friendship. There weren't really that many like cult groups of friends like that stuck to themselves. People like bled into each other's groups of friends all the time, and it was like a very fun, like school was social as fuck for me. That's why when I went to university I was like, I don't give a fuck about what I study, I just want to socialize. And then that I did. Community.
I was only invited to a singular party in high school. A singular one. And that's because one of the popular girls was in chorus, and then I think she felt bad for me.
That's cute.
And she invited me. She was cute. She was nice.
Look at you now.
I know, I'm so popular now. What was I gonna say? I had something else to say.
You've got 1 million followers on TikTok, so that's nice.
Yeah, I also have 1 million friends. And
Yeah.
I'm way more confident than I was in high school.
Do you think
that's
it's because
why.
of confidence?
Yeah.
No, this is an interview for you. Because we start talking about our childhoods a lot more than we were supposed to.
Let's
Because I
traumatize.
generally do want to talk about like adult friendships, because I think that's just a bit more important. Because
Yeah.
like, who the fuck do you speak to from high school still?
No one.
No.
Actually, not a single person.
I do.
I don't speak to anyone. No.
That's crazy. So high school for you, you were like a little bit of a nerd.
Very.
You still are.
Yeah.
You were sheltered.
Very.
You didn't listen to music.
Nope. Christian pop.
You listened to Christian pop
And
growing
rock.
up. Christian pop and Christian rock growing up.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. That triggered so many people for me singing that.
Me in high school, I was listening to Beyonce and Shakira.
Nope. Oh, I listened to like Green Day and like All American Rejects.
Yeah, okay.
I had the punk, like a nerd punk phase. Like I liked punk rock music.
Yeah, everyone kind of did.
But I
Like,
was
everyone
not
did.
fitting that. But I had Pete Wentz hair.
Yeah, I had Pete Wentz hair too.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah, I went from like MTV's "No, just don't kill the drama, let's not
Yeah.
start a fight." Like I used to watch that religiously on MTV, and like you hear these like beautiful women gyrating on screen, and I'm like, I'm definitely a homosexual.
Yes.
2, I had a weird like Panic at the Disco phase.
Yeah.
Is that Brendan Urie?
Yeah.
Ew, what a loser.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was your question for me?
My question is, Matthew, thank you for asking me the
You're
question
welcome.
to ask you.
You're welcome.
The question is, do you feel like you missed out on like childhood or like school things when you hear, especially, I don't know, when you hear about like other people's stories or like, because I always wonder, there are always the quieter kids, the shy kids who weren't invited to like things or got to experience the things other people were experiencing. People would come to school on Monday and be like, oh my God, that party on Saturday night was so fun. What did you think in that moment?
At the time, I was probably sad.
Oh.
At the time, I was definitely sad if I didn't get to go places, but I had some friends, so I wasn't that sad.
Okay.
But then looking back on it,
What did you do with your friends at school?
we hung out in the Walmart parking lot.
I'm sorry. What?
We would hang out in the Walmart parking lot.
I'm sorry, what?
So there's also something in our little town, North Carolina, called cruising, which I did every so often, which was literally you would get in your car with your friends.
Cruising is in gay cruising.
No. You would get in the car and there was like one road. It was like the road through the middle of town, Hickory, North Carolina. You just drive back and forth really fast.
Oh, that's fun.
And then part of it was sitting in the Walmart parking lot. There was probably drinks involved, but I didn't drink until I was 18. So that was what I spent my time doing with my friends.
Crazy.
And then watching Glee.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough. You went to uni. The story continues that way, pretty much.
I don't feel like I missed out now in the moment. Probably I was probably like, wow, I wish I was popular. But looking back, I was like,
no, life isn't about popularity. Life's about it's about friendship. We're talking about friendship. Did you enjoy the times you had with your friends?
yes,
Because you see these, there are movies about like loner kids.
yes. Tell me more about me.
Who have one or two friends, but they're like great friendships.
Yeah,
No, and I think that's what's key.
I did have great friendships at the time. They're not my friends now because I didn't keep up with them.
No, we like,
And that's fine.
We grow.
But they were my friends at the time, and yeah, they helped me through everything. So I don't feel like I missed out on anything. Because what did I miss? If I was popular, and I did go out to the parties. What was I getting? Everyone was straight. I was
Everyone
gay,
was straight,
but
friends.
also I would live in North Carolina. Where was I going to party?
Oh, that's true.
Someone's house, the parking lot, aka why I was cruising down the street, not cruising.
The Walmart parking lot is a crazy
I grew up in Hicksville.
crazy place to
There
be.
was nowhere to go. The closest place was Charlotte, which is 45 minutes away. Longer because we didn't have a highway then. So it was long. It was probably like an hour and a half to get to Charlotte. Like no one's going when they're 17 to Charlotte.
In my mind, like you're Amish. That is wild.
Close by. Yeah.
So great, love that.
Yeah.
I feel like we just were in the trenches then for far longer than I anticipated.
The trenches are a good place to. This podcast is about the trenches.
No, I know.
We're digging trenches.
Yeah. Okay.
We are actually actively digging trenches. Where do you want to move
I
into?
want to talk about though is adult friendships. Big spooky adult friendships. Big spooky adult friendships.
Dun, dun.
Because first of all, unless you live in your hometown and you grow up and you're still friends with a bunch of people that you went to school with or college with, or you worked with your first few jobs, or your friends' friends, or your like boyfriend's friends, or your partner's friend groups, and you just became a whole clique. Who are your friends? Because I know my brother's friends are his friends from uni, his friends from school, his friends from work. Those are his friends. Okay. When I think about our friends, like my friends are my friends from Berlin when I lived there, my friends from Australia when I lived there. Like it's just meeting people when you travel around. But when you move to a new city, you don't have any friends. So 2 years ago we moved here and we didn't know a single person. Worth noting. Keep that in there. I don't give a fuck.
Shots fired.
So we didn't know anyone worth noting.
Yeah.
So we basically didn't have any friends for months.
Yeah. We had one friend when we moved here. One person that we knew from the internet.
But then again, like this is how you make friends.
Exactly.
We're getting into how did we make these friends.
We did the same thing in Toronto. We did the same thing in Berlin. Did you have friends in Berlin?
I
When
had
you moved
so
there?
many friends in Berlin.
When you moved there?
No, but it was really, I feel like it was easier.
That's what I was saying.
When I was like early 20s, moved to Berlin and I was like, I'm just going to meet people. And it was easy. I met my first like friend, my first best friend who became best friends with for like 2 years of living in Berlin within the first weekend of me living in Berlin. And then I was just integrated into her friend group immediately. And that was my friend group for 2 years.
Do you think it was easier? Because we've moved to Berlin, we've moved to Toronto, we moved to San Francisco, basically without knowing anyone. 3 cities at different points in our lives.
Australia too.
So that's like early 20s was Berlin, mid 20s was Toronto, and then late 20s
Totally.
to now 30s
Yeah.
is San Francisco. So we moved to different
I moved
cities
here when I
without.
was 31.
Yeah. We moved to these three different cities at 3 different points in our life. So do you think it was easier to make friends in Berlin in your lower 20s, early 20s,
20s.
than it was moving to San Francisco in your 30s?
Yes. 100%.
Why?
I'm so glad you asked that question.
Like I knew that I know it's on your mind.
So I was partying more. Like that was like my main goal in my early 20s. Like I'm going out of partying so much and in my early 20s. And also I knew one person from Australia that I like knew at the hostel I met up with again in Berlin, and then he introduced me to someone that he knew when he was traveling in Australia, and that became my friend. But because we were both from the UK, it was easy, and it was just easy to be like, oh, come to this party, come to that party. I don't have any obligations. I'm single. I think that also is a key contributor, being single and being like, I can do anything I want whenever I want. I'm going to go out every single night. I'm going to go whenever I want to go somewhere. I'm just going to do it. I've got no obligations. I've got no responsibilities is the word I was looking for. I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, I was like, oh, this person's having a house party or a pre-game for this thing or whatever. Do you want to come to our house and just smoke some weed. And
You can say that. It's legal. Yeah.
oh yeah,
We live in California.
that's true. And then I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. And then you just like bond over.
Weed?
Yeah.
Weed? Marijuana?
And I just think
I think also in Berlin it was easier because it's there are German people living there obviously, but it's a very expat heavy city. Expat, whatever that word is.
you seek each other out.
Yeah, like for people from the UK, it's a lot of British and Australians living in Berlin.
Yeah.
So you will seek other people out because everyone else is seeking everyone out too.
Totally.
Because Germans
if
are
I'm
not.
like at a random party or even like at the workplace, like I'm still friends with like most of the people I used to work with.
You also worked.
Because I did work, and that's another key contributor.
Yeah.
Moving to a new city and having a job where you actually go into the job place, the job place, fuck me.
Been out of a job
Into
for
the
a while.
Yeah, I know exactly. But because we're self-employed, we moved to San Francisco. It was so difficult because when we moved to Toronto, actually, here's a very interesting point. You moved to Berlin and you were self-employed.
Yep.
You moved to Toronto and you were self-employed.
Yep.
You moved to San Francisco and we're both self-employed.
Yep.
I moved to Berlin and I got a job.
Yep.
Most of the girls I'm still friends with are friends from the office.
Yeah.
I moved to Toronto and I worked at a hotel. I guess like a lot of those people were my core friend group until I made friends with other people. I still speak to some of those people I used to work with, but then I guess they bleed out into a wider friend group. And then here was the most difficult place I've ever found making friends because I moved here self-employed.
Yes.
So now
now you understand my
I
trauma.
understand you a little bit. Oh,
Also,
wow.
I think it's easier for you because you're more of an extrovert than I am. Like I'm very introverted.
Yeah.
And it's very like I like spending my time on my own. So I find myself if I have a choice between going out and staying in, I lean towards staying in. So when I was in Berlin and when I was in Toronto, especially, I was self-employed and you were working. So I was like, it was harder for me to find groups of friends that I want to be friends with.
Yeah.
And I would meld into your friendship groups a little bit, especially in Berlin, more so in Berlin than Toronto. Because I did find like some community in Toronto through Barry's, through working out, which looking back on it, not the best
Not the
community.
Barry's cut, like the fit fam.
But I did find some sort of community and friendship there, which is saying a little bit of something for Barry's.
But also, I feel like you were quite good at finding friends through social media.
Yeah.
That's been like your biggest thing. Because when we moved to...
Were they good friends?
No. When I moved to Berlin, I had like my friends through just like socializing.
I found a couple of friends through social media in Berlin.
But again, all the friends that you had in Berlin were all through Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just like working by myself. And it's like, where do you go?
They were all awful, by the way.
I know.
All of your like
I know.
Instagram friends from Berlin were losers.
So was I.
And had the personality of like an eggshell.
So did I probably at that point.
No, you were interesting. You were interesting.
A speckled egg.
You're like an ostrich egg.
An ostrich egg.
There's so much to it.
But like moving to San Francisco was probably the hardest because we were together. So when you're single, it's easier to make friends. When you're together with someone, it's harder to make friends just because you have to do everything together and it's whatever. You don't have to, but it's more comfortable when you move to a new city to do things together and not have your separate things, which we hadn't had until like probably last year.
But then if we were like also socializing, we'd be like, oh, we're both coming because
why not?
This is now our social interaction of the month.
And then B, we were both self-employed. So we didn't go to a workplace. We make videos together. We don't really have coworkers. We have one influencer friend in the city who's great.
Yeah.
But then other than that, like San Francisco is also not an influencer city. Like maybe in LA or New York, we might go to
I feel
more
like
events.
that was the main reason we wanted to move to San Francisco because it
Exactly.
wasn't an influencer city.
Oh, we can talk about influencer friends. They're fucking annoying. I don't want influencer
Talk about
friends.
Toronto.
I don't
talk about Toronto. Well, your first friend group, like when I first started working at that hotel in Toronto,
Yeah.
I was making friends left, right, and center because it's a hotel.
Yeah.
Everyone's young and hot and
Yeah.
artistic, and I'm like, oh, I fit right in. Amazing. But then I'm at work for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I went to a coffee shop and sat down and tried. Well, I was a freelance writer at the time, a copywriter. I was a copywriter and an influencer. So I was doing like copywriting and I don't know, fucking planning my Instagram posts.
You used to go to a cafe. And like work.
I would pretend to
You'd
work
like
so I felt productive.
You'd work 9 to 5 just so you could feel like you had a job.
A purpose?
A job.
Yeah, like a
Which I'm
purpose.
like, okay, realistically, our career path and like luckily our like social media success has allowed us to be able to create our own schedules.
Yeah.
And unless I have sponsored content or branded partnerships to focus on, I'm going to do my podcast or I'm going to do my like Instagram stuff. I'm going to do TikTok stuff together. And that's like fun. And we get to make that our own pace and schedule. You used to go into a cafe to socialize, make friends. Did you make friends at the...
Fuck no. Do you think I talked to anyone? No, I think I just wanted like a sense of normalcy or a sense of like community where I could try to find it, which was just like a cafe where I would pretend like work. So I did make influencer friends through our agency that we were represented by in Toronto.
You knew some of the people though before you moved?
I did know some of the people before we moved through Instagram.
They're not listening. Talk shit.
I'm not going to talk specifically shit about them.
I will. I don't give a fuck.
I think
some lame ass fucking people.
I think most people and most of the influencers in Toronto are not most. We have one influencer friend in Toronto who I adore. Luna Lindsay, love you. I'll call her out. She's the best because she's a real person on and offline. Like she is the same online as she is offline. Yeah. Most influencers, this is why I'm not friends with a lot of influencers. Our one influencer friend in the city in San Francisco is the same online as she is offline. Yeah. A little more unhinged offline, and I love it.
One could say that we're more unhinged in real life than we are on social media.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Like you should be more unhinged in real life.
100%.
If you're like, you've got like a stick up your ass, which is the case for most of these influencers. When I first got immersed into influencer culture in Toronto, I'm working at a hotel, but in the evenings I'm going to like random events with you, and Toronto is a very like influencer, it's a big influencer hub, and there's just events all the time. So that was a good way to go out and socialize and meet people. No one would give me the time of day until I started like building my Instagram, or like my Instagram started coming up, and then we started getting big on TikTok. All of a sudden I'm getting these DMs from people I've known now for a year in Toronto who all of a sudden want to get to know me or giving me the time of day. Oh, you're fake as fuck. And also when I'm meeting these people, I can see them online and I'm like, oh, you seem so fun online. Or I'm meeting these people that I may have seen or followed on Instagram for a while, and I'm like, oh, you're awful in person
or boring,
or so fucking boring. You have the personality. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Don't even degrade eggshells like that. They're worse than an eggshell.
You couldn't even find that personality out of a fucking cereal box. That is so crazy. Like you couldn't even find the personality out of the prize of a cereal box.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And this is why they're not my friends.
And then it made me like really question like in that industry as a whole. But I feel like maybe like the switch in social media to being less Instagram focused and curated to then being like TikTok, and you have to have a bit of a personality to succeed in this. And then we saw a huge rise in people who actually are a bit more interesting. Yeah. I remember we talked about this like in the pandemic. We were like, oh my God, these are people who are actually fun. And we started going to like TikTok events where people were like doing personality based stuff rather than just, here's a photo of a coffee cup on this floor in this cafe because it has nice tiles.
Shut up.
No, you know who exactly I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Because they're
lame ass bitches.
Also, I think like Toronto is a city where the first question people ask you is, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? San Francisco, I feel like is not that city.
I don't think I even know what half my friends do.
I'm still confused about what most of our good friends do for work. Not confused, I just never asked.
The thing is, I don't want to know.
Nor do I care.
I don't want to know. And give me your industry. Tell me what's been going on day to day. Give me the tea. Give me the office tea.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
But we don't care. I don't care. No one cares. No one cares about jobs. No one really asks about like our jobs, and I don't really particularly care about talking about it.
Yeah, but Toronto very much was
that. In my opinion, I don't know if sometimes people's jobs are like the most interesting thing about them. And for the case of many people in Toronto that we knew, their like influencer careers were the most interesting things about them. I just don't know if that's the most interesting thing about. It's one of them. It's one interesting thing about us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got so many.
It's just my day job.
Yeah.
It's just my day job. It's how I make money.
I'm just sat here talking into a microphone and you're listening.
As
my friend. Thank you, friend.
Oh, they're our friends?
I was going to get into it.
What? Our online friends?
Being our friends, yeah.
Them
being our friends. I think one of the most not on topic.
On point.
No.
On the tip of your tongue.
I think one of the things that's like currently been going on in my brain recently.
On the top of your head.
On the top of my tongue, tip of my toenail, has been friends that I've met recently.
Yes. Okay.
So in the last 2.5 years since we've lived in San Francisco, which is crazy.
Almost
2.5 years.
Wild.
We didn't know anybody. And San Francisco is the first city that I think either of us have ever lived in where it's so gay. Like this.
Gay male.
Gay male. It's
yes.
very gay male oriented. That's like the demographic is just like lots of gay men.
Yes. White.
And I've never had a group of gay male friends before. Toronto, we knew a bunch of gay people. Berlin, it's such a queer city. But I never had a group of just like gay friends
Me neither.
ever. And I feel like it's just like a thing. People are just like have them, and they're on social media all the time. It's just like people just like move in packs of men,
White ones.
at that. And I found it really difficult to figure out where I fit into that demographic or that like life. And so
Lifestyle?
Yeah, maybe the lifestyle.
Homosexual lifestyle?
Because at the time I really enjoyed it last year when I was like going out so much. It's a really social thing. And I think all of a sudden I'm like, I'm partying, I'm like going out again, and like I'm having this resurgence of like nightlife culture because that's what that's how I think I justified making friends. And I'm like, I'm making so many great friends. It's 5 a.m. at some random person's house. What the fuck am I doing with these random people at 5 a.m.? Those friendships did not last, or they did not withstand the test of time. But I think it's interesting that like we moved here, and it made me like a little bit insecure. It made me a little bit like, ooh, I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I fit into this culture. And I just feel like, I think it's, in my mind, I think it's a very San Francisco-based thing. And I don't know if it would have been different if we had moved to New York, for example, where it was a bit more diverse and a little bit more like, I don't know, I just love women so much. And this has been the first place I've lived where like, I have 2 really close girlfriends and then the rest are all men. Crazy. That's crazy to me.
I will say it's not like you can't make really good friends in San Francisco, because 2 of our like best friends we met here, and that's how we met our 2 good girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can, it's just rarer. I think because the city is smaller, smaller city. It is a small city compared to New York. Like
It's densely populated for our size.
It's densely populated, but it's still small. 2, everyone's been priced out. So because it's really expensive. So all of the artists and the queer people and like the people who can't afford to live here have been priced out.
So the cool people.
The cool people are living in Oakland or Berkeley, or they moved somewhere else.
Yeah.
Those 2 points, I think, mean that it's harder to make friends who aren't white working in tech men.
Literally, it's just, I feel like the city is like very copy paste I found it difficult to make friends because I'm like, some of you people are really not interesting at all.
Love some of them. Some of them have become friends.
Some have become our closest.
But it's rarer. It's rarer. I think in New York or LA, not LA, I'm not going to say LA. New York or Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. I don't know about Chicago.
I don't know. Oh, Chicago is also very white gay. Yeah, that's
Chicago
true.
is very white gay.
Yeah,
but also they're like finance bros.
Yeah, that's true. New York.
I just miss having like I do have a diverse friend group based off of like my current friends now. But last year when I was just like out in the droves of gay men, it wasn't very diverse. I was like one of the darkest people in the room.
It's like you were, like all the spaces you were going into and putting yourself into were those spaces filled with those people.
Because I felt like I was like, how am I supposed to make friends if I'm not going out?
Yeah, it is.
How am I supposed to make friends? Because that's what I used to do when I was in my early 20s. But now I'm in my early 30s. Yeah. But now it's a decade later.
I think it's more important now to tone down, siphon away, have a couple of friendship girls, not 50 friendship girls.
Yeah, I just think the older you get, obviously it's natural for you to lose friends and just like your core group gets smaller and smaller, which I love. But I wish that people weren't like moving around all the time, because if we stayed in Toronto, we had such a core group of friends. You're listening, I know you are, and I fucking love you.
And our best friend's husband.
No, who is also our best friend.
I'm keeping that one in there.
A quick plug to our friend group in Toronto. I think I was so sad about leaving them because we formed such a close bond with these people, and we had to leave the country. But we also did want to leave Toronto anyway. Like it was just like, the place was just like not for us.
Yeah.
We left behind such a fucking beautiful group of people. And I was like scared that we were going to lose them. But I think if you like try hard enough, you can make any friendship work. We speak to these people like almost every day.
Time. Yeah.
All the time. Any random reference comes up, anything that pops up, like we're speaking all the time.
Yeah.
And then we might not have seen each other in now almost a year and a half since the last wedding.
But I think that's when you can tell that the friendship is going to stand the test of time.
Totally. But then our like 2 closest friends that we met here, our first core group in San Francisco, 2 of them left and moved to New York within 6 months, which was like a big blow.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, cunts. But then we still speak to them every single
day. Yeah, exactly. You know when those friendships are going to be the ones that you're going to keep on, and you know which ones you're going to let go of.
But I think it's when you like day to day are like you're living in the city and maybe your closest friends aren't with you. Because then my best friend who lives in Berlin still, my like closest friends who live in the UK, I wish they could just all live together.
On an
That'd
island.
be fun. On a little island.
Friendship
But
Island.
then they don't know each other.
Friendship Island.
Friendship Island.
That's a good
Hi
title.
guys, welcome to Friendship Island. Friendship Island.
Welcome to Friendship Island. That's a good title. It is. Welcome to my island.
Oh yeah.
Sipping palm trees.
Carolyn Polachek.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was thinking the Charlie XCX version, but the Charlie XCX remix.
XCX version of Welcome to My Island.
Yes. I'll show it to you later.
The Carolyn Polachek song?
Yeah. They did a collab on
I
it.
did not know.
You'll hate it. What was I going to say? I was going to say,
Island,
friendship, making friends, because you think going to parties, you're going to make the best friends of your life. And some of them, sure, are pretty good friends. I think going to things based on your like interests.
Hobbies.
Well,
Like some of these girls don't have any hobbies.
Who?
The fucking people that we know. Everyone that we met last year at the in the party scene.
No hobbies.
Not a single hobby in sight.
Yeah, I think.
Apart from maybe pickleball.
Yeah. Oh, pickleball.
But most of them aren't even playing pickleball.
I know.
They're going to the gym. They're doing steroids. And then they're going to the club. And then they're doing ketamine.
The Castro.
Yeah, literally.
I think generally as a 30-year-old, I'm a 30-year-old now, crazy.
You've been 30.
I know, it's crazy. I'm almost 31.
I know, that's crazy.
You're almost 33.
Yeah, don't age me like that.
I think at this point of our lives, it's more, if we want to make friends, the better friends are going to be made going to things, doing things that you enjoy, or like trying new things. Clay.
You keep saying clay. Clay is it's the thing.
Doing a ceramics class.
It's a product.
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
The thing. Clay is the thing.
Doing a
you
ceramics
keep saying
class.
like, I want to go do clay.
Yeah, I like
What do you
it.
mean? I want to go do brick. Like, what do you mean? It's talk about the activity, not the product that you're going to use whilst you do.
I just like how it sounds. I want to do clay.
Like so strange.
I
know.
clay.
I got you a class for fucking Christmas. When are you going to use it?
When are you going to take me?
When are you going to go?
You're supposed to take me. I don't know where it is. You bought the class.
So annoying.
I think doing things like that, like ceramics and I don't know, just like hobbies that you might be interested in. A book club, a like farmer's market. I don't fucking know. An instrument.
Farmers markets.
Yeah, you can make friends at the farmer's market.
I'm not making friends at the farmer's market.
You could.
Have you been to the farmer's market?
If you tried to.
I'm not making friends at the farmer's market.
You could.
Because first of all, it's either on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'm going to be hungover. And I'm irritable when I'm hungover. I'm irritable at the best of times.
You're
But
irritable all the time.
I'm irritable at exactly the best of times. So I'm not going to go to a farmer's market to seek out friendship with what? The fucking carrot manufacturer.
That'd be pretty fun.
For you, maybe. Yeah.
The carrot man, sure. The
carrot
carrot
man.
manufacturer.
I don't know. The guy who makes carrots. Fucking hell.
You mean the farmer?
Yeah, the farmer at the farmer's market. Oh yeah, duh.
Not the manufacturer.
At the fucking farmer's market.
You're
I was trying
insane.
to think of the name for people who like are at the farmer's market.
Farmers.
Turns out they're
market.
farmers. Yeah,
the
turns
market
out-
of farmers.
Turns out it's just a market for farmers.
You're insane.
How do you feel about your friends? Your like your social life right now? Maybe not so much your social life, but like how you feel about the fact that you have formed friends over the last like couple of years specifically, because it relates to how you feel like right now in your friend groups.
I feel better about my friends now than I did last year. I'm, as I said, an introvert. So it's harder for me to make friends, or it takes me a little bit longer to want to be friends with someone. Let's say that much.
Okay.
It takes me a while to break through, for someone to break through to me. Because I'm like, I need to know if you're actually a good person or not. Or if you're just like someone who's fickle, or someone who doesn't like, who I don't want to be friends with. So last year I was trying to make friends with everyone. I was like, let me be friends with every single person that I meet. That's not me.
And I think you see me doing it.
Sure, yeah.
And you're
'cause-
like, oh, I
yeah.
feel like I should also do that. Or like if I'm making plans,
Totally.
you're like, I kind of want to stay in, but I feel like I have to go because like,
No, I love staying in. So I love staying in. I love being by myself. Live for that. A cozy night in. So good. I don't want to go out all the time. I'm tired.
you have your book friends and your internet friends.
I do have my internet
So you're
friends.
fulfilled.
I also have my real friends. I like having, you're like, you make me seem like a fucking loser. I have friends, a lot of them actually.
Good,
but
I know.
I'm siphoning away. Siphoning. Is there a better word than that? I'm like cutting away the fat. Also worse. I don't know. Taking away the people that just aren't actual friends that will be friends for life.
Cut off the fat. That was brutal. That was brutal.
I made a lot of acquaintances last year.
Yeah.
and they will
Oh, I have so many acquaintances.
stay acquaintances.
I have so many acquaintances.
But I want my core group of girls who I can rely on. The people I can rely on. The people I could text if I was having a bad day or if I need advice on something.
That took a while. That takes a while.
Yeah, it does take a while. And it took 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Where I feel comfortable now.
I think that's a good benchmark.
Yeah,
benchmark.
Sometimes I'm like, do we know English?
No, I don't at all. Also, we film this when we're like, it's the afternoon. I've worked out. We've been meetings today. Oh my God, my brain's scattered. Oh my God, what a hard life.
You worked out and you had one meeting.
Yeah,
and you're like,
make myself.
oof, what a big day.
Yeah, my head hurts.
I need a nap.
I do need a nap. I'm like watching the dog take the deepest nap ever. And I'm like, I wish I could do that.
Someone's got to pay for her food.
That's a good benchmark for, I think, finding your core friend group.
The amount of time it takes.
Yeah, I think 2 years. Or to feel like settled in a new city.
No, 2 years is generally the time where you would decide whether you want to leave a city or stay in it. We only stayed in Toronto for 4 years because we got stuck there for 2 years for COVID.
Yeah.
We were going to move after the first year.
No, it was after the first year we both told each other we didn't want to live there anymore.
Yes. So we would have been gone from Toronto by the
Probably,
2 year mark.
yeah.
We left Berlin before the 2 year mark, pretty much. You were at the 2 year mark?
Mine was over 2 years.
Mine was before the 2 year mark. San Francisco, I don't feel an urgency to leave yet.
No, I think we're chilling. I like to chill.
Yeah,
Also,
I will
I
eventually.
think the slow-paced nature of this city and maybe my high-paced nature of wanting to socialize, they don't really click. And so I think maybe 2 years ago, if I had moved to like New York, for example, I would have probably enjoyed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
In terms of like socializing and like making friends aspect. But I'm like, actually, let me sit my ass down a little bit. Let's like chill. And there is no reason to go do something every single night with a different person, because the select few people that I do have in my life are diamonds in the rough.
That's nice. Also, you don't have enough, like, we are only one person that has...
I'm 2 people. Wait. We are 2 people, and I'm also 2 people.
You're insane. We only have enough energy to spread amongst social... We are Sims characters, and our social meter is only... goes up to a certain level.
Mine's a bit higher than yours.
Yeah, yours is a bit higher.
Fully.
But still, you only have a certain amount of energy to give people. So if you're giving energy to 50 people a week,
yes,
you're like, I want to see all these people.
No, that's so crazy. What did I just hear on TikTok? We were only supposed to know like our puny little minds from hunter-gatherer days.
Oh, this was the series that I wanted to do.
Back in the day, what?
This
Matt
segment.
wants to do a segment. So
I'm introducing a new segment.
Okay, it's a good thing this is close to the end of the episode, because Matt's introducing a new segment, which we discussed and completely cut off what I was going to say, but I'm going to come back to it in a second. Please talk about your segment.
It's called I Read an Article, quote unquote. And it means, what did we learn on TikTok that we pretend to say that we read an article about?
Do you have one? You better come up with one.
I didn't.
You made a song and dance about it. You made a whole song and dance about it.
But I just had the idea of the segment and I wanted to start it. You say yours and I'll think about mine if I learned anything this week.
Because we're at the dinner table, we talk about the news that we've been reading.
Yeah. So what did you read an article about?
I read an article that basically we as human beings evolved to only know 150 people. Because again, back in the hunter-gatherer days, back in the olden days, hunter-gatherer days, when we were like living in a fucking cave, we only knew 150 odd people. We didn't have social media. We didn't have planes. We couldn't go around and like fuck about and meet a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
We lived in our communities and we stayed in our little clique.
Yeah.
And that was like 100, 150 people. Our brains are not hardwired to know thousands of people. Why am I at the club with 1,000 people?
Online and offline.
Online and offline. Online and offline.
I'm not meant to be seeing about 1,000 people scrolling through TikTok.
I scroll on TikTok and I'm like, I've seen at least today, at least maybe 200 people.
Yeah. And learned about their lives.
And learned about their lives, learned about a story. I don't know, just like something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's wild. I'm going to the gym. I'm seeing like 100 people there.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through my phone. There's another 100 people.
Yeah.
I'm walking down the street. There's another 100 people.
It's too much.
That's a lot of people.
It's too much.
Our brains can't handle it. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, let's go back into the caves.
Please.
Simpler times.
Paint on some walls.
You'll be listening to the next week's episode of Let's Dig In through hieroglyphics.
on a stone tablet.
Exactly. So, did you learn anything this
I
week?
didn't. So this week, I can't remember if I learned it this
It
week.
doesn't have to be this week. You can just.
It's a thing that I learned that's probably been the thing that I've implemented into my life the most because I do it every day. I used to, and everyone thinks that you brush your teeth, you floss, and then you mouthwash.
You're supposed to mouthwash first.
No.
You're supposed to.
False. You floss first,
Okay.
then you mouthwash. If you're going to mouthwash, because the mouthwash industry is a little bit of a scam. You don't really need a mouthwash, but I do because it's fun. So you floss, you get all the gunk out, then you mouthwash, you swirl it out, spit it out, you get most of the gunk out. Then you toothpaste, you brush your teeth.
Fucking hell.
Because-
See, you do say this. You talk about an activity with the thing that you use to
Yes,
do the
yes.
activity.
Shut
then
up.
you toothbrush. Then you toothpaste.
And you do clay. So then you
Brush your fucking teeth.
Then you brush your fucking teeth because the toothpaste is moisturizer.
Ah.
So the toothpaste is the moisturizer of your teeth.
Oh, wow.
So you're supposed to keep that on your teeth overnight and throughout the day.
Oh, because I don't like the feeling and taste of that.
You're supposed to leave it.
I know you're supposed to leave it.
Because it's like
Yeah.
continuing to make your teeth good.
Yeah, because I rinsed that shit off.
And that article has changed my life.
Wow.
TikTok.
Thank you for TikTok.
I love that segment. We're keeping that segment.
What if TikTok gets banned on Saturday?
It won't.
Okay, great.
Don't put that in the universe.
You're right. Delete. Thank you so much, friends. Our online community that we have built with the hard work and dedication to just constantly talk shit online. And you decided to stick around and listen to it.
So that means you're the best of friends.
Actually, so true.
Yeah, you stuck with us for 14 episodes so far.
Also, there are people that have been like following us for
5 years plus.
years.
7. 8.
7.
I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, do you think, you probably have followers from like
Berlin.
2016.
2016.
17. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's 4, 5,
That's
9.
9.
That's even
2025.
9. If you've been here since then,
Wow.
go away.
No, don't go away.
was
looking to
loyal
you're
followers.
looking to your longest
kidding.
your longest term friends.
Yeah. I love the internet.
I feel like that would have been like your first community building.
The internet?
The internet.
Yeah.
Were you ever like making random friends on the internet?
Not really. I did Omegle sometimes.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
You didn't do Omegle, did
No,
you?
fuck no.
It's so fun.
No.
We should do it sometimes.
Absolutely not. No. I feel like maybe it was a younger generation thing, like my little brother's age, like making actual friends online.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't do that.
You wouldn't watch people play like video games and stuff. My little brother made friends like through games and gaming online.
No, I was like on the edge of that
You were about to say
generation.
I was a
real person.
I was a real nerd. I was in real life nerd.
I wasn't an online nerd.
I was a real life nerd.
offline nerd.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe wherever you want.
What
and
about
follow
Spotify
us
podcasts?
You can also leave a review on Spotify if you want to. Apple's better. But do on both, wherever you listen. Also follow us everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, if it's still here after Saturday.
It will be.
YouTube, Instagram. Did I say Instagram?
Yeah.
Follow us everywhere. And we'll see you next time.
On Let's Dig In.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
Love you.
Auf Wiedersehen, mein Freundin.
Oh. Adios, amigos.
Oh.
Parlez-vous français?
Oh, no. My friend, what's friend in French? Khuda hafiz mera dost.
Perfect.
Great.